Good morning, everyone. It's the 11th of July. It's a beautiful Tuesday morning. On my way to work. Clear this off really quick. It's a gorgeous morning. We're finally getting into that really nice time of year when there's very little clouds in the sky and it doesn't get really gray or anything. We're past the June gloom, you know, and it's such a beautiful day. So had a pretty great weekend with my family. I got to have some relaxing days. We went to see Sound of Freedom, and that was a very great movie. I suggest everyone go and watch that. It was eye-opening, you know, and I hope more people realize what's going on in the world. So I also received our couch finally after they delivered the wrong item to us. Like our invoices for a very large sectional sofa, and we received this freaking chair. I'm like, what is this thing? It was one pallet. I'm like, this does not look like a giant sofa. So clearly we had received the wrong thing, and what's going on here? We clearly received the wrong thing. Talked to the company, and they said they had sent the wrong thing, or the wrong thing was delivered. The delivery guy was freaking out trying to get, you know, the corrected item to us. Apparently the distributor said that they had messed up. The driver said that the distributor had messed up. Pointing fingers, blame game, all of this other stuff. And I was just telling them, listen, I don't care whose fault it is. Just give me a solution, you know. I'm not interested in blaming anyone. You guys are cursing at each other, and I'm still without a couch. So I don't know what y'all need to do to figure it out, but I need my couch that we paid for and got expedited shipping for, because we just moved into the house and we want to freaking make sure that we have someplace to sit. Well, I mean, we have our old couch, but it's super tiny and it's supposed to go in the den, and this couch was more the fitting of the living room, you know. So they were trying to have it delivered today, and the guy told me he was going to pick up the old one on Saturday, and then as soon as the other one, as soon as the distributor opened up, they were going to switch it out and deliver my couch to me on Monday morning. And I said, okay, let's do that. And first thing yesterday morning, I said, hey, are you still scheduled for your 11 a.m. as you said? And he's like, oh no, you know, unfortunately I'm still waiting, and I've got all these other deliveries to make, and if we can fix it, deliver it tomorrow morning, that would be great. And I'm like, that's not what you told me. You told me you would have it fixed. You were going to pick up the new one and deliver it first thing Monday morning. It's Monday morning, and now you're saying you don't want to deliver it until the next day. Or he actually said late, possibly late Monday after 6 p.m. or Tuesday morning. I'm like, that's no. You know, this is my day off. I'm supposed to be relaxing, but instead I'm waiting on you to deliver my couch so me and my family have a place to sit. After we paid for expedited shipping, and now it's been 3 days. Like, no. So, needless to say, I got into it with the distributor, talked to them, explained to them the situation. They said that it would be delivered by 1 p.m. And then apparently, and I told them, I'm like, well, he's trying to tell me tomorrow morning. And he was literally texting me at the same time as I'm on the phone with the distributor. And so basically back and forth, and they said, let us handle this. And next thing you know, I am receiving a text message from the driver saying, ETA 12:30. I'm like, okay. And we got our couch, and I immediately opened up the boxes to make sure that I got exactly what we ordered. My wife felt like it was her fault. I'm like, it's not your fault they delivered the wrong thing. Like, just in future, you gotta make sure that you're checking off what they're delivering. Make sure it's what you ordered, but it's not your fault. So she's like, I thought one pallet seemed weird. So how'd they fit the whole couch in that one pallet? So it's all good. We had a great weekend. My daughter is discovering rocks and apparently how they taste, because she keeps wanting to put them in her mouth. Rocks and our new garden that I want to start tilling up and planting some crops in. She actually discovered there's mint in there. She was messing around and kicking the leaves around, and I'm like, I smell mint. And sure enough, I looked down and she's got a handful of mint in her hand. And then I showed her how to pop it. You put it in your palm and you give it a little smack, and it releases the enzymes and everything, so you can smell it. It releases that smell, that mint smell. And she was like, ooh, I put it in my mouth, I chewed it, and I tried to put it in her mouth, and I'm like, you put everything else in your mouth, but you don't want to chew on mint leaves, okay? So, whoa there, guy. She was about to come over. Oh, wow, they both came over behind. The one on the left and the right, they both switched lanes at the same time. Wow. Yeah, so today I was looking forward to, having a nice easy transition back into the work week. I had a 3-day weekend because I basically switched the 4th of July for my Saturday, because Saturday I wanted to go to the AVP tournament in Hermosa Beach. My friend had a box seat and was offering it to me and a couple other friends. And so we were like, of course, courtside seats to see some of the best volleyball players in the world. And it was not disappointing. There was some great matches. Found some new players I wasn't aware of, and I'm definitely going to become followers of theirs. One of which is that one female player, Savvy. She was, her defense was amazing. She was all over the court, popping everything up. I was quite impressed with her skills. And who was the other one? There was another player that I was pretty impressed with, another female player. The normal guys, of course, Trevor Craft, always a great player to watch. Triborn, love watching Triborn play, and that man is he's so gifted. His athletic ability, his agility is ridiculous. And his, what am I thinking of? His ability to come up with shots on the fly, being able to create shots. It's pretty amazing to watch him play. Going for a block and then doing a turn and getting the pop up off the block. If they try to dink it over him, like I said, his athletic ability is pretty crazy. He's just so long. But yeah, I had a really great weekend, and now we're going into the work week. And work week is all about organizing everything for my client, for my employer. I say client, I'm so used to having my own business and having clients, and now I have an employer, so he's my boss. I gotta make sure that the property is up to par, and it hasn't been for a long time. Basically, this property, they've had it for 20 years. The previous property manager was on for 12, and I don't know if he had experience property managing, but they were definitely not on site enough to really care, I guess, or be aware that of his poor performance. He was living on site, and I guess was making sure that the property was in good standing for when they visited, but they rarely visited apparently. So the property was in just complete disrepair when I took it over. I've been there for going on 5 months now, and I've been able to completely fix everything that has been broken over a period of time. There are lots of things that need to be adjusted. You know, we did an evaluation on the irrigation system last week, and there were over 100 heads that needed to be either adjusted or replaced. There were 3 broken pipes. So I can only imagine how much money they were wasting on water. I know our bill last month was $400 higher than what it was before. And that's basically because we had a broken pipe that I was fully aware of in the driveway, and we've had to break over the driveway and get that going. But the rest of the property was just like normal, the normal cost of operations. And I figured it was kind of high how much they were paying for water, even though it is 22 acres and there's multiple irrigation lines. There's multiple homes on the property, but still it was and then you start doing the evaluation on the irrigation system, and you never see it because we always have the irrigation at nighttime when the principal's either asleep or off property, because you don't want to have the principal waking up to wet grass or the sprinklers being on and him having to get to his car and having to deal with all that. So you always have the sprinkler heads or the irrigation system operate at nighttime or the early morning when there's going to be dew anyway. So you do your heavy watering during that time, and then the heat of the day will evaporate it and dry it out over the course of the day, and then nighttime comes again, you do it all over again. But there was obviously no way to see these broken pipes and everything because obviously they're operating at a time when no one's around. So doing an evaluation on the irrigation system is vital to making sure that, of course, there's no bad heads, there's no broken heads, there's no broken lines. And when asked when this was last done, no one had an answer for me. So I don't know when the last time the irrigation system was evaluated, but clearly it had been quite a while because of what we found. And even for me, I knew something was going to it was going to be bad, but I didn't expect over 100 heads. The grounds had several dead spots, and when there's dead spots but there's being maintenance once a week or twice a week, that should be noticed and dealt with. But the landscaping company hasn't had anybody checking them in quite a while, so they've just been running on autopilot. And now if there's somebody on site that's actually doing the work, they're actually having to pay attention to what they're doing now. The whole property wasn't being evaluated, wasn't being taken care of properly. Like I said, there was several brown spots in the grass, and if the heads are properly aligned, everything should be overlapping. There should be no spots that aren't receiving water. So for there to be that many brown spots, I knew there was either broken heads or there was misaligned heads, misaligned spray patterns. So we went through and we were able to completely do the lower half, which is the larger portion of the property. We did the lower half of the property, and like I said, we found over 100 heads that were either misaligned or completely broken. And then we also found 3 broken pipes that were literally just gushing water out of the ground and not providing enough water pressure for the heads that were in, that they were connected to give proper watering to the areas that they were supposed to. So that's going to be all fixed this week, hopefully, or the week after. But we're going to get the broken pipes fixed immediately, and then we'll go back and we'll align We basically marked every head with a flag, and every broken or misaligned head with a flag. And we have, I mean, you look at the property, there's flags everywhere. There's just the whole property is covered in flags. So we're gonna get these fixed, and it's just gonna take a little bit of time. But the principal is clearly, he's very happy with the way the property's being run now. There's, it's, you know, I've got maintenance being done on all the equipment on property. All the appliances are being maintained. All the heavy equipment, all the machinery, all the mechanicals, they're getting maintained one by one. All the golf carts. And I'm finding out that none of this stuff has been done for a very, very, very long time. All the ranges are from like the late 80s or late 90s to early 2000s. The refrigerators are from like 2011. Our oldest range is from 1996. Is a Wolf. I mean, these are very good appliances, and as long as you maintain them, they'll last forever. But like I said, the previous property manager didn't do any maintenance. So all these property, all this equipment and appliances have just been working themselves to death. I personally repaired the Lynx gas grill because the technician wasn't going to be able to come out in time for the 4th of July weekend, so I just ordered the parts and did the work myself. And all we were doing was changing the igniters and making sure that it was properly cleaned, which I used 2 cans of Easy Off because this thing hasn't been cleaned in freaking forever, I assume, which is sad, you know, for me being a Texan and seeing a grill being in that state was just disheartening. Like, how are you supposed to grill properly with a grill like this? It's in this much disrepair and it's so dirty. And it's clear that the chefs that use it, they don't clean it. They just use it and walk away, which I understand. They're not there to clean it, they're to cook. And it's the job of the property manager and the houseman to make sure that everything is properly maintained, which it hasn't been. So, took it upon myself to make sure the grill was in a good, upstanding operation, and I did, and got it done 2 days before the 4th. They were able to use it. It grilled beautifully. I changed all the wiring, changed all the igniters, cleaned all the manifolds up, inspected them for any damages, which they had none. They were in great working order. So it was great. It was great having everything fixed like that. And I noticed this morning, so going off topic, you know, from property management, I noticed that you guys viewed one of my shorts. I was very shocked. You know, it was 21,000 views. I've never had that many views on anything. And it was from me driving, obviously, because that's what I do, drive to work and talk to you guys and take video of it, of everyone around me. It was basically of the off-ramp that I take. Oh, whoa! Guy behind me almost clipped my bumper. Wow. Changing lanes behind me and he freaking got real close. I probably should get a camera pointing behind. Anyway, on the off-ramp to Topanga Canyon Boulevard, it's a short off-ramp. It's a fast off-ramp. You know, that's why there's a acceleration lane once you get to the end. And I took a video a couple weeks ago of someone being stopped and not continuing into the acceleration lane, into the merge lane. And I guess it was a very divisive topic because there was so many people talking about me raging and talking about who was right and who was wrong when it came to being stopped there. And I appreciate so many people that that liked it and were on my side when it came to that. Like, hey, no, you don't stop. There's a merge lane there. It's a yield sign for a reason. You freaking keep going. Here's the car that almost clipped my bumper right here, coming up on my right. That white car, white Toyota Camry. Almost clipped my bumper, changing lanes behind me. It was funny watching everyone, talk about me raging, and my wife knows. Like, yes, I'm very vocal when it comes to watching drivers do stupid shit, and that's why I started this channel, because it's like, you guys gotta see this shit. Hardly anyone in California uses turn signals or indicators to let you know which way they're going, what they're doing, and so I like to show what people do on the road. And sometimes I explain, the directions I'm taking. I know I used to. I would explain, why I'm taking this one route, or how to make faster routes, because sometimes Waze isn't, it'll let you know the best route, but then it starts redirecting you because the algorithm doesn't allow you to take side streets and stuff. But because I've lived here and I've driven all over the city for 20 years now, I know a lot of the shortcuts and the directions to go. I don't know what this Camry's doing. He's slowing down, now he's speeding back up. And I'm actually shocked there was both of them. They just used their turn signals. Wow. And he only clicked it on for once, but hey, he used it. Any little victory is a good one. This guy, he's just so yeah, appreciate all the support everyone gives. I like to support other people as well, and I support as much as I can, and I try not to do as much social media. I spend a lot of time with my daughter. I was noticing before that I was spending, I get caught up looking at my phone, responding to emails and text messages from the boss and coworkers and vendors, and so I try to, I try to pay attention to my screen time, especially around my daughter. I want to make sure that she is aware that Daddy is aware. So the morning times is the only time I really get to spend with her. Because as soon as I get home from work, it's almost her bedtime. So I get to the clopin type thing, using restaurant terms. I do the closing, I do the opening. I put her to bed at night, and when I wake up in the morning, I give her breakfast and spend as much time with her as I can. See, this is the Lion right here. And actually, to be honest, I said there was a yield sign, but there is no yield sign there. And then you accelerate, and then you change lanes. Yeah, there was no yield sign. There is no yield sign right there. It's just a straight turn into the merge lane. And yeah, so those two double yellow line or double white lines are pedestrian crossing. And yes, you yield to pedestrians, and you yield to traffic that's blocking, that's not allowing you to travel freely. But right there's no yield sign. I was actually shocked. All right, I'm gonna get some gas. Talk to you guys soon.